Hey guys, it is Cece. I am CeeMyCurlz. As you see, I am blank right now, but we're about to do a really, not like super quick, but my everyday but glam. So I should already have an everyday makeup tutorial on here. If I don't, then I don't. But this is just literally that, just a little more oomph. So I'm gonna go ahead and get started. I'm gonna do like some speed through, some talk through. Yeah, like I just wanted to do my makeup because I need to take some pictures for Instagram to keep the algorithm on my side. So make sure you are subscribed. Make sure you go ahead and like this video. If you are new here, go ahead and drop some hearts in the comment box and we will get into this video. Hey y'all, you close now. Yeah, so first I'm gonna start with my complexion. All right, no, we're gonna start with eyes. I said eyes first. So let's get into my eyes. I don't do really anything fancy for the eyes, and I'm probably not gonna talk through this part, so let's go ahead and get into this. All right, so one, please just bear with the shot. This is new stuff that I'm testing out right now. But I'm just working in my primer, my Fenty primer. I'm not going to list everything in the description box this time. If you want to know what I'm using, please go ahead and ask me in the comments. So I'm going to go ahead and prime my eyelids. And today's look, I'm keeping very basic, but like, I love a good blended eye and an eye that's nice and neutral, but still kind of seamless. And I love to add a little pop of glitter at the same time. So you guys are just going to see me prepping my eyes for that. This is not going to be a complete talk through tutorial. This is probably the only time I'm going to do voiceover for this video. But now I'm just going to go ahead and set my eyes with my setting powder. As you saw, I used the sponge before that just to make sure there weren't any creases. And so now I'm going to start working my bronzer into my crease. What this does is it just adds some shape to my eyes, and it's a nice natural color. It's a good start to my transition color, but I'm not going to only use this one for my transition color. I'm going to use some other colors from my Gjorgjievski palette, but I love the bronzer as like a nice base, but I'm going for a very natural look. So that way when everything's blended out, it's still like in the kind of like nude brown range. So now I'm gonna start working some colors into my crease. I'm using the colors Ginger and Edges. I'm going back and forth between those two colors, but what I'm doing is I'm putting it in my crease first, and then I'm patting it all over my lid, because I do want the focus of the color to be on my lid, on like the center of my lid for the most part, and then to it kind of like fade as it goes up. Like, this is supposed to be a very toned down look. So I'm going to go back and forth with those two colors, pat them in, blend them out, and then once I got enough of those two, I'm gonna add in a darker color. It's called Credit. It's a nice crease, not crease. It's a kind of like dark color that I usually use to smudge in the corner of your eye, but I'm working that all over my lid. And then I'm going to blend it out, and I'm going to focus on my crease area, just making sure that little transition area is as seamless as possible. I don't want you guys to be able to easily say, oh, that's where this color starts, that's where this color finishes. Like, I want my blend to be so good where you can't see where the color starts, you just see, oh wow, that's pretty. So I'm working on that. I'm not no makeup artist, I just do my own makeup, y'all. But once I've blended it out to the point that I like it, I'm just going to pat in this gold color. It's called Dollars. All of this is from my Gjorgjievski palette, best palette ever for brown girls. And yeah, I'm just patting that softly in. I don't want it to be too shimmery, just a light glint when it catches the light. And that is the look. I'm gonna throw on some eyeliner and lashes off camera, and then I'm gonna come back to y'all. Alright, so let's talk a little bit. I'm going to cover up some dark spots on my face because I have not been eating good. So I have some pimples. I probably gained like 5 pounds from the holidays. And when I mean the holidays, I mean like from Thanksgiving to New Year's. So that's actually not as bad as I thought I would have done. I thought I gained like 10, 15 pounds. Like, you know how like sometimes it feels a lot worse than what it really is? That's what it felt like. So now we're gonna go in with my foundation. If you're not hip, I love Selena Gomez's foundation. I love it low-key more than my Fenty. The glow, well, yeah, it's a glow. It's a very radiant wearing foundation. I actually mixed it with my Fenty. Well, yeah, I'm probably gonna do that for my friend's wedding. But I love this foundation. And my friend who's getting married, she's the one who gifted me this. So like, shout out to you, Paige Lorraine, the bride. Love her. It's been my best friend since I was like 3. Oh, what was I even talking about? I was talking about mental health. But yeah, like I feel as though I have suffered with anxiety kind of since I was a kid. And like when I say suffered, I just mean like I overthink more than the average person. Like, trust me. And this is gonna look dark. It's gonna oxidize down to my skin tone. Don't worry. It's gonna look dark. I also don't have much of a tan because it is winter. But I'm gonna fix it off. So if it looks dark, don't worry. But I feel as though I'm a huge overthinker. I overthink things that has happened to me years ago. Like, I still overthink how, because last year I lost some friends and I still overthink that situation. I overthink day-to-day conversations. If I feel as though I could have responded differently, that scene's gonna replay in my head every single day. So that's just kind of an example of why I feel as though I do have some sort of anxiety, because my overthinking can get very excessive and get to a point where I really have trouble combating it. But I've also just learned to pray. And I have distractions. I know it's probably not the best, but my video games actually really help me. I've just learned to do things that make me happy when I feel weird. Because that's honestly the only way that I can personally get myself out of it. And sometimes when it's really bad, I'm trying to get into the habit of journaling. Down. So now we're just going to share all this out because it is a little heavier than what I expected. And once we highlight, it's going to help even everything out too. But I just find doing makeup really gets me out of my head sometimes. And sometimes you just have to, especially because I have nothing to do right now because it is a pandemic. Sometimes you just have to get dressed up just for yourself. Take some pictures just for yourself. Remind yourself you're that chick. And if you're not the person who likes to be super girly, like I know some people just aren't girly, go run that mile like you like to. Or I don't know what else people like to do to feel good. Go swimming. Go buy some new clothes. I love buying new clothes to make me feel better. Okay. So we're gonna go a little bit more in with this contour, just a little. I don't want a super heavy contour. I just like to have, especially the outsides of my face, blended in well. So I'm literally just venting to you guys, and that's okay. I've been overweight my whole life, basically. So I've, like, of course, been on diets for, like, I've tried to lose the weight plenty of times. And there's a point, because in college I had to go through this, there's a point where you don't want to try to always lose weight. And the reason why I'm saying that is because if it's different if you like, because of course, like, this has literally been how I've looked my whole life. So it's different when maybe you grew up really tiny and then like you had kids or something happened, you went to school, you moved out and you gained a bunch of weight. It's different when it's been like this your whole entire life. Like you grew up like this, you doing all this, because this is the only way you know yourself, if you get what I'm saying. So being in the mindset of I need to lose weight, I need to fix this constantly throughout your life can be very destructive towards your self-esteem, because there's no acceptance of how you look. And I had to explain that, like, to not only myself, but to my friends sometimes, because it's just like, yeah, like, I don't know. It was me trying to find a balance, but then also with me finding that balance, I also just had to learn, okay, some of my habits really weren't that healthy though. And then what also kind of jump-started my wanting to work better on myself, I got really sick. When did I get sick? Was it right before? I think it was right before I got my first job, my first big girl job in my field. So 2019, I had an asthma attack and I got really sick. And the medicine that they put me on to help get if I'm not looking at you guys, I'm just looking at my mirror, to help get my asthma under control, it was a steroid, and that steroid made me gain weight. So because of that treatment, I was probably at one of my all-time heaviest. I'm not gonna share it just yet because I kind of want to, I'm literally like 10 pounds from 50 and I really want to hit 50 pounds this year. So I'm gonna talk about it all in a separate video when I hit that goal. But basically, I was at my all-time heaviest after getting better from my asthma. And then like when I was following up, they were like, well, you do realize that like weight is a factor when it comes to people with asthma. And so it's just like, after having like, literally I couldn't go up and down the steps without getting winded when I was getting better from that asthma attack. So after going through something that's scary, it puts a different perspective on your health. So that kind of jump-started my, all right, I need to just take care of myself. I need to learn that exercising is literally what every human being has to do, not just people who want to lose weight. It's just part of being healthy and taking care of yourself. And then I also learned how amazing it was for my mental health. Not last year, but like 2019, that was a big learning year for me, honestly. I learned about boys, I learned about friendships. So like all that learning, of course, comes from hurt. So I was healing from all that hurt. And while I was healing, the pandemic happened, or was it after? No, yeah, the pandemic hit. I swear, it's such a blur, but yeah. As I was healing, the pandemic hit. So I went into this place of, I couldn't see half my friends. But thankfully, exercising really like kept me from getting super low. And healing from the ends of friendships, I honestly think it's the equivalent to getting over a broken heart. Like, you love your friends. You love them. You basically imagined your friends being in your life for your entire life. So it's like getting used to them not being around. You have to get used to that. And I will say, like, learning and healing from it, I realized how toxic that friendship was. And I'm not saying that to be shady, I'm just saying that to be honest. Like, we can have toxic friendships and still love them, just like you can have a toxic relationship and still love the person. And that's what makes you go past the, well, even though they're hurting my feelings all the time, I love them. And that's what it was. Like, I loved my friends. Like, it wasn't always bad. But I've also realized that I was hiding a lot of my feelings. And I was talking about how so friendships and relationships could just be very toxic. I was hiding feelings. I wasn't saying no when I wanted to say no. And then when I would say no, I was being guilted about how I felt. I will say, like, don't let anybody make you feel bad for feeling how you feel. Period. Your feelings are valid. It doesn't matter. Like, your feelings can still be, I don't want to say selfish, but like, if you feel as though you need to protect yourself, that is a valid feeling. If you feel as though I don't know if they're gonna have my back the way I need it to be had for me to be comfortable in that situation, that is okay. And I had to learn that. Like, I had to learn that I could tell my friends no. And it's not the end of the world. And thankfully now I have friends who I could literally say no and they'd be like, okay, boo, keep it moving. I swear, every time back then, anytime I was telling them no, I was disagreeing, it was a huge conversation when it didn't need to be. All I had to be was, okay, that's fine. You know? So it's like learning how to have the right friends for yourself, learning how to, and then also for boys, just learning how you really want to be treated. I had to learn, okay, I remember what I was talking about. My lifestyle wasn't matching up to where God called me to be, I felt as though. And when you're with people who live a certain lifestyle, you don't want to hurt them by saying that lifestyle isn't for me. And I feel as though that was partially my fault, but it partially wasn't at the same time, because I feel like God tried to get me out of that situation before it had to get to the point where feelings were hurt. But that was the only way he could get me out of it. He had to hurt some feelings. So sometimes that's necessary to your growth. All right, so we've done the whole complexion. Let's just go ahead and highlight. I'll probably, if you guys see my mouth moving, it's because I had to speed through some of my talking parts just to keep this video somewhat short. So yeah, I'm gonna speed through the rest and then we can go back to the end. But I just want you guys to get through this, get from what I was saying was, don't be afraid to cut off friendships or boys. They're always gonna be there, honestly. I literally learned how many friends I had by losing those friends. I literally would say that I have an abundance of friends, and the great part about it is they all live the same lifestyle to me. They all want to make God happy. They all want to do that. So that's one thing I want you to get from this. And the other thing is, don't be afraid to take a break away from boys. We can have another boy talk if you guys want to talk about my journey of no boys last year. We can definitely talk about that. Just leave that in the comments, but let's go ahead and fast forward through the rest so I can finish this look. Hey y'all, so this is a look. If you heard anything, my nephew's playing outside my room. But this is the final look. Sorry I couldn't finish my hair and lips on camera. I'm still trying to learn how to get ready with me. Not super long. Like I'm aiming for 15 minutes, so we'll see if I did that or not. But I hope you guys enjoyed the little chit chat. I hope you guys like the look. If you want to see more about this look, or just like the full, like if you just want to see the look, go ahead and check out my Instagram. It is CeeMyCurlz, and I will go ahead and put it down below. CeeMyCurlz, 2 Z's at the end, and I'm posting some pictures of this look today. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I will catch you guys in the next one. Stay blessed. Bye.